Assalamu alaikum. This is Clifton, Raheem Bradley of the Underground Railroad Television Show, and thank you for the great response of the shows that I have been doing about Ramadan. Thank you. And say hi to Muslims in Canada, the United States, Central America, Brazil, Peru, Argentina, Europe, Asia, Africa, UK, Australia, and Asia. Pray for always pray for the Muslims that are being persecuted in China right now by the Chinese government, and pray that the Palestinians in Israel may resolve their differences. You're looking at the Underground Railroad television show. We come on every Saturday night at 10:30, but we on the internet, and you know what? You can catch us 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. And I am thankful for that. Yeah. I'm not in my regular studio. And what I'm going to do is a presentation about Islam. And if you want to join in, you can join the link. You can tap on the link and you can join in on the conversation. Or you could call me, or you could put something in the chat room. But no further ado, I'm going to do this right here. I'm going to play you something. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. This is Clifton Raheem Bradley of the Underground Railroad Television Show. We come on every Saturday night at 10:30 p.m. Central Time in Chicago. But you can catch us on YouTube 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. And I am sorry about the technical problems that I had. You know what? But I plan something, but you know what? But Allah plans, and you know what? Allah is the best plan in all things. And I have Minister Ben coming on, inshallah. If it's the will of Allah, he should be. He will either call up or he will be on the other side of me. But you know what? I want to say especially hi to the people in Canada, the United States, Central America, Africa, UK, and all of these places. Yes, sir. Mm-hmm. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. This is Minister Ben on the phone right now. So did the link work, my brother? Okay. Oh, okay, okay. So when you tap that link, then I'll just let you come on in, okay? Okay, okay. Okay, well what I'm gonna do is I'm going to, because we want to be able to take telephone calls. So, but if you can, you try to tap the link and see what happens. Okay, let me see. Okay. Let me try. Okay. And if it does not work, what he's doing right now is there is a link. And see, and if that does not work in the community, one day, inshallah, I'll make it the opportunity to not share is selfish. And you know what? So brother, go ahead and make assalamu alaikum and make your introduction, brother. Walaikum salam, Ramadan Mubarak. Ramadan Mubarak. Yes. Praise due to Allah. Yes, brother, thank you for the introduction. My name is Minister Ben Willis. Okay. So, yes, I do a TV show called In the Mind of Minister Ben Willis. I do a podcast called Mr. Ben Willis Blast Off Podcast, where I talk about social and economic issues, relationships, music, sports. I talk about the comparative studies in religion. I talk about the three major patriarchs of it: Moses, Jesus, Muhammad, and the differences that they have between the religions, the fighting against with the religions, and then I talk about the fighting within the religions, the fighting within Judaism, the fighting within Christianity, and the fight that's in Islam. Brother, I thank you for the introduction. And I know the show is, we're in Ramadan, and this is a phenomenal time for the Muslims, and it's a trial for the Muslims, and yesterday I was looking at the show, and there was some brother named Ali Muhammad. He was just firing off ayats at the Quran, all in it, on the stuff on the side. And the Quran, the Quran that the Muslims believe is the word of God. Yes. God we call Allah, but it's the word of God. And everything that Allah says in the Quran, the Muslims believe it's true. Yes. And it talks about fasting and things of that nature. And that's part of our 5 pillars. But when I first heard Ramadan, I didn't know what that was. Okay. I wasn't Muslim at the time. I didn't know what it was. I hear it every so often, Ramadan. And the reason why it caught my interest a little bit, because the way it sounds, Ramadan. It has like a poetic, rhyming sound to it. And so, I just never really paid any, really never paid any attention. So, in going into this and becoming Muslim, then I found out exactly what it was. And basically what it is that, and we covered it, it is fasting for 30 days, for the number of 30 days. What was the word Ramadan, the etymology, what does that mean, Ramadan, because in English? It still means fasting. Okay, gotcha. Because in the Quran, Allah doesn't say Ramadan. Yes. It's fasting. Okay. Fasting is prescribed for you. That's what it says in the Quran. It's prescribed for you. And the thing is about that is just to, when you strip away things that you desire and that you want, now, when you do that, guess who you got to focus on? Your creator and you. Yes. You say, help me with this, because I love to sit down and eat. Some of them love to sit down and drink. Yeah. Love to sit down and have sex. Alhamdulillah. This is a fact. Yes. So now you have to take all that away. Yes. So who you got? You and Allah. You and Almighty God. So it makes you focus in on it. But the beautiful part about this, once you have gone through it, when it's over, you feel like you lost a friend. Oh, wow. You feel like, wow, I need to be doing something, or I shouldn't be doing this. Yes. It has that big effect on you. Now, the fasting is fasting with food and drink. Sun up, you stop eating and drinking. Yes. Sundown, you eat and drink. Yes. But that's not the only thing about the fasting. Yes. You must fast with your eyes. Yes. Any foul thing or anything, you need to turn away from that, because that can break your fast. Yes. You must fast with what you hear. Yes. People talking crazy, cussing each other out and all that kind of stuff. You have to remove yourself from that, because your hearing can break the fast. It's true. And talking real crazy and things of that nature, cussing, using foul language, that'll break your fast. And the toughest part of all of that is not the food and drink. It's listening to it, looking at it, and
And those are natural things. I mean, those are natural things that we take for granted, but you key in on that, and that helps you with piety.
You know what, Minister Ben, I maybe this is a bad analogy. I look at it like an automobile. You know what is going to get a tune up, and you have been driving your automobile for 100,000 miles. You've been through 11 months. And then you know what? It's time to pull your cut. To me, it puts everything back in check and everything in balance. Can you agree or disagree with that?
Wow, that's a great analogy. That is, I mean, yeah, you know, you got the car on the road and you hitting all kinds of potholes and putting bad gas in there, and you know, the radiator's all messed up.
Yeah.
You need to tune it up. You need to tune it up. And then once you tune it up, don't it run real good?
Yeah.
It just flies. You know, there are some people that are not Muslim, but they ask me about Ramadan. They ask about the fasting, because Christians fast too. You know, and part of the Jewish diet, they fast also. But they wanted to ask me about, you know, Ramadan. They say, you know, do you lose weight when you fasting?
Yeah.
They say, do you lose weight? And do you know that actually you don't lose weight? And the reason, and in fact, some people gain weight. And this is the reason why. You know, some of the brothers and sisters, they say, I got to be out all day without eating and drinking, so I'm going to pile up in the morning.
Alhamdulillah.
I'm going to pile up in the morning, and they do. And to the body, when you eat a big meal, and you don't eat nothing and do anything after that, the body holds on to that food. It's not going to go. That's why they tell you to eat small meals at a time, and then your body will burn it up. You know, your metabolism rate will burn it up. And then, so with doing that, and then at night when you break your fast, they eat a big meal then. And so it's kind of stays with it. And some brothers and sisters, they don't lose, and some have gained weight.
And you know, Minister Ben, you know what? When we talk about Ramadan, we follow it comes in every year at a different month. And what is the reason for that? What's the reason? And what does it signify? The beginning of Ramadan.
It signifies there's no God but Allah. See, everything is prescribed and everything is done with Allah's permission. There's been times when Ramadan has been in the wintertime, when the days are short. Here Ramadan it's during the springtime, when the days are long. Only Allah knows. But also, let me talk about, because that was a good question. But also for those people who are Muslims and people who are non-Muslims.
Yes.
They say, well, you know, I'm sick. I take medication. Or I have some health issues existing health issues that I got to take care of. And I take my medication. But I want to praise Allah and I want to do this. And so I'm going to chance it without taking my medication.
Yes.
No, take your medication.
Yes.
And eat your food.
Yes.
You can still fast with your eyes and your tongue and your ears. Allah don't put difficulties on us when we do this. It's not you don't put difficulties on us. And then if you can be kind to people, like they say, feed people, feed a number. If you're able to financially. But if you don't do anything but buy someone a sandwich, it's what your intentions and your deeds are. You know, it's not rocket science, you know, because that's what it is. And it's just to be kind to, you know, kind of the human family. And so, you know, it's not difficult. I have had a chance.
We got a question when you get through in the chat room. Go ahead. Huh?
Okay, give me the question.
Okay, it says Ramadan is also the ninth month of the Islamic calendar observed by Muslims worldwide. Is the month of fasting, prayer, reflection, and community. You want to comment on that?
Oh, that's a great statement. That was from this brother named James Willis. You know what? I think that brother, I might know that brother some kind of way. I might know that brother.
Hey, brother James.
Yeah, brother James. That is a great analogy, and that is what it's called. It's called in the different dialects and things of that nature. And yes, it says that, and I agree 100%. You know, I agree 100%, and that was a great analogy to put up there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so for other Muslims that don't know that, and then also for non-Muslims, I want to make certain that when they hear Ramadan, when they hear the word Allah, when they hear Quran, it's not spook words or something foul or anything like that. Mm-hmm. This is about where we're bringing and educating not only non-Muslims, but we're educating Muslims, because you'll be surprised, brother, that there's a lot of Muslims that don't get it either. Yeah. They just go through the motions. And so I did that, and I did my 5 prayers. Can you do me one favor, brother?
Yes.
Can you take off your kufi for 1 second?
Alhamdulillah.
I want the Muslims, and I want the non-Muslims to see this. Mm-hmm. Can you remove your kufi, brother?
It's off, my brother. Okay.
There's a mark on that brother's forehead.
My big head. Okay.
No. But what I'm explaining to the non-Muslims and the Muslims, some Muslims that know and some Muslims that don't, that mark is a badge of honor that all Muslims want to have.
Praise Allah.
When you see a brother or sister with that mark right there, that signifies his devotion to God, because he's always in prayer. And that is just, brother, you can put your kufi back on. I just want to let the viewing audience know, the Muslims know, and the non-Muslims know that is a honor. And that is an honor inside of God. So, brother, you know, anytime I do talk to you, I don't care that there's sometimes me and you might be on different ends of the spectrum. Mm-hmm. And you might have your point of view, and I have my point of view. One thing I never get shorted about you, you're going to always bring up Allah all the time. 100%. You 100% with that. So I just want to show people that badge you got. And I'm going to tell you, a lot of brothers and sisters want to get there to where they had a mark.
Praise be to Allah.
I just want to give you that.
Praise be to Allah. Thank you, Shukran, brother. I'd like to ask you something, brother, about Ramadan. Please clear this up. It says that Ramadan basically it signifies when Prophet Muhammad ﷺ was revealed the Quran. Would you expand on that?
Well, those are the holy months when the Quran came to the prophet. When revelations came to him, you know, that was special times for us. You know, that was special times not for just the Muslims, for the human family. Because the Quran is for mankind.
Yes.
It's not for the Muslims, it's for mankind.
Yes.
And you want me to let you know something? Do you know that there's non-Muslims that have the Quran? There's professors, there's rocket scientists, because in the Holy Quran there is science and mathematics.
Yeah.
And you know, when you mentioned Prophet Muhammad, who was an unlearned person, couldn't read, couldn't write. Remember when it was told by Jibril, the angel Gabriel came to the prophet and told him to read. He said, "Ikra," which means read.
Yes.
And he said, I don't know how to read. He was frightened. And he said, "Ikra," which means read in the name of your Lord.
Alhamdulillah.
So, you know, so this is how powerful it is, just that, you know, just that alone. So it actually is the beauty of the Quran. Nothing's going to outshine the Quran, even what we do in our actions. Everything starts with the Holy Quran.
And Minister Ben, as we're moving on, I would like to please give the people, it's incumbent upon me to ask you that, to give the information of how did they get to your YouTube page and your Facebook page. How do they get in contact? Because this gentleman is enlightened. And for people that have social media platforms, or write articles, or do television shows, it would be incumbent and it would enrich your platform if you extended an invitation to them. Go ahead, brother.
Okay, you can go on YouTube and put in Minister Ben Willis. All you gotta do is put in my name, Minister Ben Willis, and you'll see everything I've done. All my podcasts, all my TV shows. One thing about what I do, on my podcast, my theme is uncut, unapologetic, straight with no chaser. I might ruffle some people's feathers, but I'm telling the truth. I don't back down from nobody. I'm not afraid of anybody. Only thing I fear is Allah's punishment. That's it. And I say what I have to say. And if it bothers you, I'm sorry, but I talk about all types of things. I'm involved with this organization on the west side of the North Lawndale area called the Boxing Out Negativity. They're young black males that are high risk, but they're doing great things. And I'm also involved with this other organization called the Crushers Club in Inglewood on the south side of Chicago, which Inglewood is one of the toughest neighborhoods in the United States. And I'm there, and these brothers are doing great things, and I'm involved with them. So my people and young people is my passion. I'm not talking, man. I'm not talking. I back up what I do. And if you want to, you join up with me, and you want to work behind your talk, come with me, and I'll take you to the places where the young soldiers are at. And then you can do something. One thing about this here thing, I'm talking about the Muslims also. A lot of talk. Whole lot of talk. Alhamdulillah. That's not the religion, brother. It's what you're doing. Prophet Muhammad got out there. And he worked with the people. Jesus got out there and he worked with the people. Moses got out there and worked with the people. And people get up there and say, "Yeah, hallelujah, Jesus." That's not the faith of the religion. It's not. So, you know, we can sit down and talk. Hey, man, you ain't doing this. Hey, that Muslim doing this. Hey, that black guy doing. What are you doing? How can you affect that? If you're a Muslim, you should be out there number one. Look at this here, brother. Let me show you something here. This is our holy month, Ramadan. Look here, bro. Let me say something to you. You talked about the brothers and sisters over in Palestine.
That was right. That, you know what? That was my next question. But go ahead, brother.
Okay, go ahead, brother, with that question.
You know what? Alhamdulillah, all praises to Allah. I would like to ask you, can you send a message? First of all, we not warm with anybody talking about hurting nobody, but you know what? Can you send a message to Muslims globally that are being oppressed, like in China, for their belief in Allah, and the Palestinians that are being oppressed? And There are countries that are ostracizing people because of their beliefs upon Allah to Allah. Can you send some type of message to them to give them some type of words of encouragement during Ramadan and give them some words of encouragement while they're going through the persecution of people trying to hurt them because of their belief in Allah?
Well, I could say this for the brothers and sisters globally that are being persecuted because they believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Hold on to the rope and hold on to the Quran. That's what I'll say to them. But here's what I'll also say to them. You're being persecuted and everything like that, because you're Muslim. But I want you to pay attention for all of you are globally. I want you to pay attention to the black Muslims that's here in the United States that's being persecuted. What about the black Muslims over there on 75th and Exchange? Or the black Muslims over there on Chicago Avenue and Pulaski? See, we can talk about all of this here. What about also the black Muslims that go into the Arab Muslim stores that sell pork and alcohol and having sex with black girls in our neighborhood? Assalamu alaikum. And they will do that and fast through the month of Ramadan and then break prayer and go to salat right next to another black Muslim with and prostrate and go right back to the store and keep selling alcohol and pork to the black community. Muslim brother, what would Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, what would he say if he came in there in the stores?
Already.
You understand? You understand, brother? Because what I want people to understand, non-Muslims and Muslims, there are more black Muslims in the United States than any immigrant. First off, me right here, I care about my people.
Yeah.
I care about black people first. I can be who I am to have anything against anybody else. Here's a brotherhood. It is a brotherhood. Islam is a brotherhood. But there is racial bias in there also.
Yeah.
It's racial bias. So I got to care because Allah has created me that way. And He created mankind and animal kind that way. I've never seen a giraffe go over and see how the elephants are doing. The giraffe takes care of the giraffe. So I get it that people are dying over there persecuted. But the Muslims are being persecuted here. Black Muslims are being persecuted here. They even roll off as being Muslim. And I think that that's what we should focus on and everything else. We don't have big, great masjids like they have over in the East. We got a raggedy, nasty storefront calling it a masjid.
Yeah.
And you got billionaires that are in the Muslim world. So there's a lot of work to do, brother. See, I told you, you have me anywhere. It's uncut, unapologetic, straight with no chaser. That's how I'm doing. If I'm lying on somebody, please correct me because I'll stand corrected.
Well, hey, that's why you here. That's why you here. You my brother. You my friend. And you know what? We got to have a message in the chat room. This here Ramadan originally meant great heat, a image taken from a pre-Islamic solar calendar. I don't know about that. This month was scarce in the pre-Islamic Arabic tradition and was the month of truce. I don't know about that. They say Ramadan was originally meant this great heat in the image.
Yeah, it's great. It's great heat. It got me heated. I'm heated right now.
Okay.
I'm heated right now. Brother, can I share a story with you?
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
About Ramadan. I think this is the best Ramadan. I want to share a story with you and the rest of the viewing audience about Ramadan, the best that I've ever had. Brother, when I was up in Rochester, Minnesota, and I was the imam of the Muslim community out there. And I became imam there. They just put me there to become imam. So I just wanted to skate in and just not do anything, but they put me there as imam. And this was the Sunni. Let me break everything down for non-Muslims, and some of the Sunni Muslims or whoever else is listening as Muslims.
Yes.
I came up and took my Shahada as a Sunni Muslims.
Yes.
Sunni means, Sunni is a derivative of Sunnah, and the Sunnah is the life of the Prophet. That's what they call Sunnah, the life of the Prophet.
Yes.
His ways, how he could conduct himself, and that's the Sunnah, his Sunnah. And they just offshoot it and said Sunni. So anyway, I come from under that. So, I'm talking to them brothers, and we was there, and it was a group down the street. There was a Nation of Islam.
Yes, sir.
They had their mosque down the street.
Yeah.
I walked down there. I went down there and talked with some of the brothers, and gracious with myself and the brothers. Boy, do you know what happened to my community? Brother, what you doing down there? You don't have no reason. Oh man, they was upset. They was off the rocker.
Yeah.
And I said, brother, blah blah blah. I can ingratiate myself with that. I'm solid on my foundation and where I stand.
Yeah.
And then so one of them brothers told me about another brother they wanted me to meet, the Grand Sheikh of the Moore Science Temple.
Yeah.
So I said, where y'all meet at? And they told me where they met at. I went over there and sat down with them. And we became, I became confidant with those guys. Of course, they had some of the brothers and sisters upset in my community. All right, I'm going to fast forward. We're going to during that time, because that was back in 1994. 94. Back during that time, Ramadan was coming up.
Yeah. And
I talked to them brothers in the Nation of Islam. Well, they was having what they call a fasting. They called Ramadan in December.
Savior's Day.
That was their concept. That they had Ramadan in there like that. So I told them, brother, I said, do y'all participate in Ramadan? He said, well, we have ours in December. I said, yeah, that's right, you do. He said, but this is what we'll do, brother. He said, what we will do is we will stand post for you brothers. I said, and wait a minute, now here's another thing. I said, well, when we had prayer,
y'all,
and the brothers said, we don't prostrate.
Yeah.
Now, I'm from Chicago, and the headquarters is here in Chicago.
Nation of Islam.
Minnesota said that they don't prostrate. And I said, yes, they do. They do in Chicago. But I wasn't going to get off on all of that. He said, what we'll do, we'll stand post while y'all in prayer.
Yeah.
So we have Fajr prayer, and they would be up and stand post with us.
Yeah.
They would stand post over us. And when we had prayer in the evening, in the evening fast, they would stand post. Okay, fast forward. They were very, very nice brothers. So I said, you know what? There was this kitchen when it was time to have the feast of Eid al-Fitr. This kitchen said, I have no problem. We will let y'all make y'all food and prepare y'all meals in this kitchen.
Yeah.
And I said, okay. So we started preparing the food. It was a Hebrew brother. We was talking about lamb because we had got like a big leg of lamb.
Yeah.
And he said, I can show you, because lamb has a wild taste to it.
Good taste,
He said, I'm going to show you what has a wild kind of, it has like a musk kind of taste to it.
I love it.
But see, the thing is, not everybody do.
Yeah.
But here's a way of taking a wild taste out of it. So we salted it down. This is what I learned from the Hebrew brother. They salted the lamb down, then boiled it in water and vinegar. And that took all of the wild taste out of it. And we made garlic bread. We had the lamb. We had bean pies. We had a potato salad. We had salad. We had fruit salad. It was great. So now what I did was the guy in the kitchen said, you guys, you have the kitchen to yourself.
Yeah.
And so we made a whole lot of food.
Mm-hmm.
We said, well, not only are we going to make for the Sunni community, we're going to make for everybody.
Yeah.
That means the Nation of Islam. That means the Moor Science.
Yeah.
I made so much food, I was going to let this guy in the kitchen say, throw the rest of it away. He said, what y'all going to do with it? He said, it's a lot. I said, we got people that can eat it. So anyway, we invited them brothers in, and they came. We ate the meal and everything else. Everybody got along well because there was concepts that they thought they had against each other, but they had more in common with being human beings than anything else. And for me, the spirit of Ramadan, it is the best that I've ever witnessed for me in my life.
Got a question for you. Okay, I got you. Nation of Islam, but you know what? I don't even. Well, I'm interviewing you. Okay.
You can say what you want to say.
No, I'm interviewing.
Because I break down Islam right away, and I break down
I'm
here in America and across the street, across the world.
I'm interviewing you. Okay, and you know what? You got
no question is off limits.
Okay. But you know what? During Ramadan, there's certain things that I'm just not gonna say. But you got a question in the chat room. It says Surah Muhammad. Well, I don't know if you're referring to the Nation of Islam. It says 4-1 Quran. Those who disbelieve and hinders others from the way of Allah, He will render this deed. Boy, what do you think about that?
If it comes out the Quran, there's nothing I can add to it or take away.
Yeah.
Anything that comes out the Quran, that's God's word. And so for me I can't add nothing or take nothing away. I'm not worthy of that. The only person that's worthy of that is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, when people are shooting off surahs and shooting off ayats, which is verses and chapters out the Quran, that's the last word. And that's the first word. So all I can do is just say alhamdulillah, all praises due to God, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
If you ask me a question, then that, but when you shoot off surahs and you shoot off ayats, I agree with them. I ain't gonna
Mm-hmm. And you have a message. Saladin, it says Assalamu alaikum, Rahmatullah. Ramadan Mubarak to you.
Ramadan Kareem, I thank you for those kind words. I really do. I really thank you for those kind words, and I hope your Ramadan is successful. And glad for the greetings. It warms my heart for that, and I send out that for that Muslim and his family.
I would like to ask you, Minister Ben, you know what? In Islam has been demonized by the news media, movies, publications, Charlie Hasbro, and the Simpsons cartoon with Bart. They made a statement, beware of the bearded ones, beware of the bearded ones. Why should a person ignore that, and why should a person think about it, consider embracing Islam?
Well, because the thing is when people start looking at Islam, they say beware of the bearded ones, and beware of the sisters with their face covered up totally, and you can only see their eyes.
Mm-hmm.
They're attributing Islam to Arabs.
Mm-hmm.
But don't you know when you sit down in their offices while they're saying those types of things, that you see Robert with his shirt and tie on, that's handling business and sit down and talk with you, that he's a Muslim?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But he's a black guy.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you see that Teresa, that's account executive, with her, with her hair done and nails done real nice and dressed real nice and everything, that she's Muslim?
Yeah.
She's a black woman.
Mm-hmm.
Because they don't attribute Islam being nothing associated with black people. They attribute it with being Arabs. And so when you look at it that way, Here's the problem that people don't, that those who are bigoted and say those types of things, that Islam is all around you and you just don't know it because you're looking at a group of people. And let me tell you about some of them group of people.
Mm-hmm.
They want to be with the mainstream anyway. And so when it backfires on them, here's a guy named Mahmoud. As soon as he comes to America, his name is Mike. Here's a brother that you done dropped your holy name when he got off the plane at O'Hare Airport and came to Chicago. Your name is Mike. I said, why you drop your name Mahmoud? Oh, because you just want to get along. Well, hey, Doc, my name is David. You from, what do you mean? You from Yemen. Your name is Daoud.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as you get in America, your name is David. Because you want to get along. But as soon as they start slamming on you, brother Islam, why do most of your Muslims, your immigrant Muslims, are over there at Bridgeview? Why you immigrant Muslims are over there at Tilly Park?
Yeah.
How come they down on 47th Street? Why ain't they on 22nd Street? How come they not on 115th Street? Why? Why is that as big as Chicago is?
Mm-hmm.
Why? See, let me say something to you, brother, and everybody else that's listening. This is our holy month. I love the brotherhood of Islam, and I will take nothing else but that. But we can't sit on a soapbox and be holier than thou and be sanctimonious because we got problems in Islam too. Yeah. I just shot up a few of them about the stores and what they do. And you have people, the powers that be, that do not like Islam. That's what they say, the bearded ones. Because they're biased against those people who's trying to get along with the American public.
I have a question. Now, this is not related to Ramadan. I would like to ask you.
Yes, sir.
They had, back when there was Edgar Hoover, he created a program called the COINTELPRO.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I want to know. I would like to know. People can look this up. They had people go down to the farm where they trained people to be Muslims. They indoctrinated them in Islam so they could infiltrate Islamic societies. And some of these people rose up to be imams. And sometimes, even in Chicago, I don't know if you know, sometimes you can walk past Masjid El Farouk at 8900 and people could be taking pictures of you. And they send workers in that may have on a telephone uniform, a heating to plant bugs, monitors, cameras. I would like to ask you why. Why would they do that? And we pray 5 times a day. Okay, we make our salats. We believe in one God. But why is it necessary for the government to monitor Islamic groups? Not just in Chicago, but worldwide. Why? What have we done? What have we done, brother? I wasn't planning on asking you that.
No, because that's valid. In fact, that's very, very important. When you fear something, you need to find out what it is. You need to find out what it is. First off, what makes a person fearless? What makes a person say, all right, if it don't be it, I'm ready to die? Hey, that's not, a person's not afraid to die. Or a group of people, they're not afraid to die. Why is this? What is this all about? Find out what this is. For a Muslim to sit back and say, wait a minute, is he taking pictures of me? Wait a minute, are he trying to listen to me? First off, let me talk about J. Hoover. I don't care about no man that wear a dress.
I got you, brother.
I don't care about that. But I understand that. But the thing is, here's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Man plans and Allah plans.
Yeah.
And Allah is the best of planners. And when Allah has the believers, He has the believers. Because all we do is praise Allah. And anything that feels a threat, I remember, I think it was a it was like in the 60s.
Mm-hmm.
Richard Nixon said this. He said,
Yeah.
I don't care about the communist faction. The threat to America is the Islamic faction.
That was in the Times. Yeah.
That is when Richard Nixon said that. And so they know and they study. And people had the Quran too. Those wise professors, rocket scientists, and other people, politicians, have the Quran. And try to figure, what is this? And you know the funny thing about that, brother?
What's that, my brother?
Some of them wind up becoming Muslim and becoming devout Muslims. Because it has that effect on people. It has that effect on people. You read that book and understand it. You know, when you show to read it, God's word has an effect on you. And let me ask you a question, brother. I'm gonna ask you a question because it's happened to me. Have you ever read the Quran and you teared up?
No, I have not made my salats and I've teared up, but I have never done that. No.
Yes, because it has an effect on you.
Yeah.
Your salats is the word of Allah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the salats is the word of God. So yeah, it has an effect on you.
Yeah.
And so, you know, the thing is that you come with one intentions, and next thing you know, I came in as about a Muslim, I became one.
Yeah.
And became probably one of the big pronounced Muslims there was.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
And you know what, brother? Maghrib is coming up.
Right.
And you know what? I would like to ask you, I have been asking you questions.
Yes,
but I would like to say, perhaps there's something that you want to say, or a message that you want to relay to Muslims that are struggling and people that are thinking about coming into Islam. Perhaps it's something you want to say that has nothing to do with that. But go ahead.
Well, you know, again, for me, you know, I come up in a Christian society. My family are devout Christians.
Mm-hmm.
I will never denounce my family. But when I found Islam, I said, I agree wholeheartedly with this. Wholeheartedly. I won't denounce my Christian family. I won't. I will never do that. They believe in Jesus. I believe in Jesus. But for the beauty of Islam, it's so easy for me, and I relate. It's comfortable. It's so comfortable for me, and I would really ask those who are non-Muslims, if there's a person that you feel comfortable with, that is Muslims, that you can ask questions and try to get information on how to, I welcome you to it. I mean, and another thing about that, for those who are non-Muslim, just asking, do you know that God will bless you tremendously just asking about it?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, brother, this is, you came with some kind of, you know, you always do this to me. You start asking these questions and I start losing it. You know, I start losing everything. But I mean exactly everything I said, and I'm compassionate about what I do. And, you know, you say you want to get to China, so
I want all the half of that I can get, my brother.
Right, so you're trying to get to heaven. I'm trying to do the same thing too.
I'm gonna tell on myself to people out there that's looking. See, half of that means blessings. Right. Have y'all ever seen Abbott and Costello? There's a skinny guy and a fat guy, and they do Abbott and Costello. And you know what he said? Abbott, the fat guy says to the skinny guy, Abbott, I've been a bad boy. I've been a bad boy. And you know what? I need all the half of that I can get, you know, to avoid the hellfires and have my grave extracted on me and 2 dark angels hitting me from the end of time. So I'm trying to get all the half of that I can get, my brother.
And that is the desire, and that is the desire of all Muslims all over the world, even with our difficulties. What Allah said, God says in the Holy Quran, He said, with difficulty comes ease.
Yeah.
So being persecuted and everything else, we count easy. And God don't put a burden on none of us that we can't bear.
Mm-hmm.
So it keeps us there, and we just have to stay there and deal with it, because we're a believer. Whatever Allah wills, then we accept that.
I gotta tell y'all something, man, and I got to get off because me and him, we'd be on the phone, we'd be doing this all night. I gotta ask you something, brother.
Yes, sir.
It just came to why has organizations like the CIA, the FBI, Homeland Security done everything in their power to eradicate Islamic movements in the United States of America? I'm talking whether they've done it overtly or covertly. What have we done, brother? What have we? I'm asking that, and like I say, and they're probably listening because they monitor everything. What have we done, brother? I'm asking you that humbly.
Right. So wait a minute now. You talking about the CIA?
I'm talking about the CIA, Homeland Security, FBI, CIA. They have done everything in their power to extinguish Islam, but Islam is the fastest growing religion in the U.S. and in the world. But why, brother? Why? What have we done?
Well, okay, because let me see. We can't put no dope around the masjids, and y'all ain't gonna use the drugs. Y'all can't pound alcohol and stuff up there, and so y'all can do that. We can't give y'all guns so y'all can kill yourself. We can't have naked women all over you so you can fornicate and cheat on your wife. Your wife lose her man and do drugs. It's not working on them. We need to do something to eradicate this, because Shaitan has helpers too.
Okay, that's the reason.
Shaitan has helpers too. It's always going to be a battle with the righteous and the non-righteous. It's always going to be an eternal battle that way. If you try to do the right thing, you can have friends. If you try to do the right thing, they're going to try to get you to do the wrong thing as much as they can. And you say, come on, let's do this, brother. Come on, man. All we got to do is, let me tell you one thing. If a person tell you all we got to do, you're going to jail.
Yeah,
you hear that statement. All we got to do, you're going to jail.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's always temptation, when you're doing the right thing in a group of people. When you say a religion is trying to do the right thing, and they're growing, I think it's 1.6 billion Muslims, I think, today, and it's constantly growing, and you're not doing nothing wrong. But if you mess with any of us, you will have a problem. Because the Quran tells us what to do. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, and he prescribes for the Muslim.
Only to defend. He
says, I will say what Allah says. Fight with those who fight with you.
Yes.
And also he says, in another part of the Quran, he says, retaliation is life for you.
Yeah. And let me tell the people something though, man. You know what?
Yes,
I want y'all to understand something. We're not advocating to attaching a bomb to yourself. We're not agitating. We're not advocating pulling out a gun. We're not advocating that. Everything he's telling you comes out of the Quran. The Quran is a holy book. So I just want to do that because these algorithms are something else, brother.
I'm going to straighten it out when I say it again. If you do something to me, you slap me, I'm slapping you back.
Okay.
If you hit me, I'm hitting you back. Because Allah created mankind and humankind to protect itself. And I do the will of Allah. And if you think I'm lying, go slap a lion and see what he do.
Alhamdulillah.
I know the brothers trying to soft sell a little bit, but I ain't going to go for that. I'm going with God ordered, and that's that.
Oh, I understand, brother. And you know what? I want to, say thank you.
I see somebody say, Brother Tyrone, I want a Ramadan Kareem to that good brother, man. I love that brother tremendously. He is a stand-up guy, and boy, he has a lot of knowledge.
You know what?
I love to hear that brother Tyrone talk, man. He has a tremendous amount of knowledge, man. Thank you, and I hope that Allah bless Brother Tyrone and his family.
And you know what, Brother Tyrone, inshallah, I'm going to make an attempt to get him on tomorrow to talk about what does Islam and Ramadan mean. See, for this month, I'm not doing anything at Can Television because I'm concentrating on the Deen of Islam. And I'm always concentrating on that. I don't care if somebody offer me to produce something for $1,000. I'm talking about anyway. I'm just not doing anything because my concentration and my focus is on Allah and school. And so if it's $2,000, you know what? I'm gonna refer you to somebody else. You know.
Brother, you gotta do that workout too. That over Planet Fitness, right?
I know.
You told me when you were in the gym, you say, brother, I'm in the gym. I said, okay, and then you kind of slid up a little bit, brother.
I'm gonna tell y'all something. You know what? When me and him get to talking, man, we just McGrib is around the corner. I'm gonna try to make it to the mosque to break the fast, but if I can't, you know what? Allah is pleased because I can break my fast at home. But I'd rather do it there. But you know what? Brother, you know what? I want to say thank you to the people that look at the Underground Railroad television show. And my show comes on every Saturday night at 10:30 p.m. Central Time. But you can catch me and Minister Ben on his channel in the Man of Minister Ben Willis and the Underground Railroad television show in Chicago. But you can catch us. And I want to say thank you for the people that have given me donations to my PayPal account. And thank you for the prayers, because I always ask for prayers. And I know that no matter what I ask for, whether it be money, prayers, or salah, I will get exactly what Allah has allotted for me. And there's a show called The The Spit Troopers, the truth that comes on tonight. What's the name of the show, brother? It comes on The Spit?
No, it's called The Truth Spitters.
Okay. What time does it come on? 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock, okay.
Central Time.
60, yeah.
Okay.
I think it is Pacific. Is it
Central.
Pacific time?
Central Time. 7 o'clock. Okay. So the Truth Spitters, Brother Salim, see, we must promote each other and we must not be jealous. We must not be envious. We must not be hateful to each other, because what Allah has for me is for me. And what Allah has for you is for you. So so if I try to prevent somebody from getting something that Allah wants them to have it, ain't nothing about it anyway. So these platforms and David Cox, I encourage you, and like I said, it ain't about selfishness. I'm doing this for the will of Allah. I'm doing this for Allah's faith. That is why I'm doing it. I want everybody to know this. Everybody to know this that looks at the Underground Road. I am doing this show for selfish reasons, and the selfish reasons is to get blessings. I happen that the size of an atom. If you embrace Islam, you know what? I ain't gonna say you can stick a feather in my hat. You can give me a good deed. Allah will give me a good deed, and this may be the very thing that may keep me out the hellfires. Whether 100 looks or 1 looks, it's okay, because you know what? I won't get any more than what Allah allotted for me. So, brother, tell us where your website again, and then I got some people that I got to thank. My sponsors, but tell us where your website is again. And brother, I appreciate that, brother, you coming on.
It's always a pleasure. Again, you can go to YouTube and just put in Minister Ben Willis.
Mm-hmm.
And all of my stuff will show up, and it's a plethora of different subject matters. And what you'll find on there is, again, uncut, unapologetic.
Yeah.
I talk about the city of Chicago. I talk about the beautiful city of Chicago. But I talk about the flip side of Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
I talk about the neighborhoods being Black Wall Street, the neighborhood that I grew up in. And I consider Black Wall Street. and I've interviewed other people that talk about the neighborhoods that they grew up in and fond memories that they have. Sports, music, relationships, religion. I cover it all. It's all plethora of something, and you can leave comments. I've had comments. The majority of people are very have kind words and very supportive. So, Brother Cliff, I thank you for welcoming and extending your hand to me to be on your show. I appreciate it. And anybody, and like you were saying, anybody that we all have something to bring to the table.
Yeah.
We all have something to bring to the table. And again, for me, this is my personal opinion. Anybody that's doing something for black people, anybody that's doing something for the Muslims, because I'm a black man first for anything, and I'm a Muslim. When you're doing things like that, you really, and then if other people is doing things for mankind totally, I'm for all of that. And we have to do that and empower ourselves and back each other. And, we keep doing the same thing. We can try to put something in the pot and make it work. And that's what it's all about.
And
thank you, brother.
And then, brother, you know what? The honor was mine, brother. And thank you for disseminating information to people that understood, people that did not understand Islam, and people that are thinking about coming to Islam. Because not only have you saved them with the message, you saved a generation if they embrace.
Yes, sir.
Okay? And that is very important. But to the enemy, this deen is going to spread. And I'm not talking about doing nothing thick little kid stuff or picking up a gun or bombing. That's kid stuff. I'm talking about the goodness and righteous deeds. And individuals are going to look at the Muslims as being an example. So the enemy of the CIA, FBI, Homeland Security, you know what? You could infiltrate the masjids. You could put cameras in the masjids. You could put microphones in the masjids. You could send people to the farm in New York to train to become Muslims and imams. But you know what? We don't do nothing against the law anyway.
No.
So,
like I said, if you take a whole table, a busload full of kilos of cocaine in front of the masjid, it's just gonna sit there. Ain't nobody gonna mess with it.
No.
They gone.
You know what Wallace Ad-Din Muhammad used to say? I know that there's spies in here, and he said they can sit in the front seat. They might convert.
There have been people that have. There are people that have because of the righteousness that comes out the Holy Quran and the example being of Muhammad.
But I want to tell the enemy, the imams are not a fools. They know that they're being watched, and they know that they're being monitored, and they know that their masjids have been infiltrated by agents.
It doesn't matter.
But
it doesn't matter because if the law puts some punishment on you, the enemies ain't gonna be able to help you. So even if you allow, you don't fear nobody else. I don't care. They can have bullets and listen. The FBI can take me to the federal building. I won't waver. I ain't no good brother. Listen.
Sound like Abu Bakr, brother.
I ain't no scared Muslim. You ain't that. I ain't trembling. I'm not doing none of that.
Yeah.
I'm not doing none of that. So, your mom's going to get some infiltrated. So what? If you feel strong on what you do, you look Shaitan in the face.
You know what, man? I want to share a quick story, man. Here we go down. We turning into each other's show. Me and you talk so much. I was in the masjid. I'm not gonna say the masjid name, but you know what the brother said? Bin Laden, man, what do we do? Do we get weapons and do something to him? And you know what, man? All of us looked at him, and I said, brother, why would you say that? I said, you must be with them. That's what he said in the mosque, man. He said what they doing in Bin Laden is wrong. Shouldn't we get weapons and help? I said you must be with them. You know, I'm sitting up in Marshall Farouk, brother, 8900 Stony Island. They taking pictures of us walking inside the mosque. So what? I was at Marshall for 10 at 4700. There's a brother actually taking pictures inside the mosque. I told him, you think I didn't tell the imam? The imam said we don't worry about it. So you know what? So I'm sending out a message. You know what? That ain't him saying it. This is me. So the CIA, FBI, Homeland Security, Mossad, or whoever, you can watch. But we ain't doing nothing against the law anyway. So it don't make no difference anyway. I'm sorry, brother. I had to say that.
You say what you mean. And the main thing is, like I say, I don't really think the law's punishment, so it doesn't make any difference to me one way or the other. Because guess what's going to happen?
What?
We all going to die anyway. Whether you believe it or not, you're going to die.
Yeah. But
so, if you're Muslim, you might as well die the cause of Allah.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny to me? I know somebody from Homeland Security, FBI, and CIA is looking at this. But you know what? Y'all invited to come to Islam too.
I don't have no problem with talking to people and inviting them to. And anything that you want to know or learn, I'll make it plain for you so that you get a better understanding, because that's part of my job.
Yeah.
Is to invite you to something. I want to invite you to something that feels good to me.
Yeah.
And I care. If you want to. It works for me.
Damn, we interpreted this into another show. I got another question.
We got to get to McGrill. We got to get to McGrill.
All right. You know what? I promise this is the last one.
All right, go ahead.
Damn. I want to ask you something, brother.
Yes, sir.
You know what? Some imams just make me sick to my stomach with this. When they have microphones in front of them in front of a news station, they say, "Don't you think that the democracy is the best thing for the people?" And they say, "Yeah, democracy. That is not what." The rank and file believe that the Sharia is the right thing under the right circumstances, and the scholars agree with it. And they just make me sick to my stomach with this.
I know. Yeah.
They make me sick. I mean, would you like to comment on that? I'll leave that alone.
No, go along, get along. And I was like, where are you at with this?
I laugh.
Where you at? Go along, get along. I know I might make some people mad at this. I was gonna say, but I ain't gonna say that, because I don't think it's that's a.
You get me cut off YouTube, man.
Yeah, I ain't gonna say that, because it has to do with the what you call it, and what you call it, because of the what you call it, because of the what you call it, get the what you call it, because this what you call it thing is happening. So I'm not gonna say any of that, because that'll get this thing shut down. Because they're real sensitive about this nowadays.
I mean, but the enemy is just so silly, man. I'm not gonna call no imams names, but they say we know that we are being watched, and we know that there are people in here. Everybody does not love us; they want to destroy us, and it's just so silly. They don't think the imams know. It's funny to me, brother.
Yeah, it's fearful, and people are still trying to find out what is this, and a little bit more and more. There are a lot of people that are really reading up and studying the religion of Islam and saying, wait a minute, this is not what we thought it is.
What superstars? What stars became Muslims, brother?
You got Heavy D was a Muslim. Big Daddy Kane is a Muslim. Nas is a Muslim. Eric B is a Muslim.
I was going to say Madonna, but that's not true, though. Okay.
No, hers is Kamala.
Okay.
Denzel Washington when he played the role of Malcolm X, he said it had such a major turn of his life, and he never went back to a lot of his ways. He said it had a major effect, because when you go to the Holy Land and you see that they had so much respect, because you don't shoot movies at Mecca, you don't shoot movies of Hajj, you don't shoot movies that are live there, because they had so much respect for Malcolm that they allowed Denzel to be part of that. Yeah. And he said when he seen that, he said, "It's the movie. It had a major effect on him." Yeah. You know, so it's a lot of brothers. It's a lot of brothers in the sports world. It's a lot of brothers that are
Akeem Elijah Jabbar. It's many of them, brother. But brother, you know what? But I think we better, because you know something, we could easily turn this into an hour show. But you know what, brother?
Yeah, it's time to do my career.
Alhamdulillah. So
brother, this was a fantastic show, man. I really appreciate it. And inshallah, I look forward to you and Brother Tyrone Perry the show tomorrow. I look forward to that. You're doing a great job. I really appreciate it, brother.
Inshallah, brother. Like I said, I'm going to call them up tonight. But look like I ain't going to make it to the bosses today. I guess I'm going to stay at home. But you know what? This must be what's pleasing to Allah. I hope it was. Exactly. And I want to tell the people out there, you know what? The wrong that came out came from ourselves, and the good that came out, it came from Allah. And did the best we could to disseminate information. And I want to say thank you again for the donations that you have sent to my PayPal account. And also I want to thank you for the prayers, because I need prayers in this work. And Allah, I'm only doing this because I was commanded to do it. And you know, if Allah told me to do this, stop this tomorrow, I wouldn't even do it no more. I really wouldn't. I wouldn't. You know, I wouldn't. And all praises. So I want to thank you, Minister Ben. I'm gonna tell my sponsors thank you. I know you don't want to hear that stuff.
No, I mean I thank you, and thank your sponsors too.
All right, absolutely. That's what I'm. Okay, brother. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Ramadan Kareem, brother. So you know what? I want to thank you, and I say it humbly, for watching the Underground Railroad television show. And Brother Tyrone will be on my show tonight. I believe it's him. I'm doing shows that are dedicated specifically to Islam in the month of Ramadan, April, and one in March. We got a brother from Masjid Al Farouk coming on. He's an Islamic teacher. And Brother Abu Bakr. Okay, and phenomenal people, and I'm gonna have more Muslims on, because this is Ramadan, and I'm not doing any shows at Can Television. I'm going to concentrate on making my salats, reading my Quran, going to work, and going to school. You know, so I don't care if it's $1,000. I'm not gonna do it. You know, but because everything that I have that is good comes from Allah, and the bad things, they come from myself, because I disobeyed, and I don't want to disobey. And I can't blame nobody doing Ramadan, because in the month of Ramadan, believe the concept is understanding is that the shaitan is locked down. So any wrong that I do, it is me. I don't have the shaitan or the devil whispering in my ear, because we believe that he is locked down. So I want to strive to be good. And if you like this, give me a thumbs up. If you hate it, give me a thumbs down. If you have constructive criticism for me, I appreciate that too. Because you know what? We don't always do well with people giving us pats on the back. We grow with constructive criticism if we take it in the right way and we know who we are. And these other shows support Minister Ben Willis, support his platform. David Carr, support his platform. The Truth Spitters, support their platform. You know, I have learned cannot be selfish and envious and hateful of each other. And we must network. I think King Arthur said it. Malachi said, my God makes me strong. And you know what King Arthur said? God makes us good to help the poor and the disenfranchised. Because we won't remain strong forever. So no matter how strong you think you are, how intelligent you are, how strong you are, you're gonna revert back to a fetal state. Okay? So once a man and twice a baby. Okay? Remember that. Remember that. And if you heard the words and you say that you understood the words and you acknowledge you're responsible, you're responsible. And I ain't trying to scare nobody. You do what you want to do. Oh, you don't want to thank you. Say thank you to people. And you know what? For people that live in Chicago or globally, if they want to put an ad in a newspaper, the Citizen Suburban Newspaper. You have to Google it up. They're 8941 South Greenwood. Check out an ad with them. Help them to grow. Just like you helping this social media platform to grow. Help them to grow. Okay? Whether you in Chicago or you're not out of Chicago, send them a donation. They help them. Okay? And Herb's Barbershop. That's where I go. I go to Herb's Barbershop in Chicago on the east side, 7909 South Jeffrey. It's Herb's Barbershop. And the barber is named Stan. We call him the greatest barber in Chicago. Whether you visit in Chicago or you know somebody that lives in Chicago, let them cut your hair. And Rick's Muffler Shop in Chicago. He's an honest mechanic. I know you say honest. Yeah, he's honest. It is located at 8300 South Commercial. And Royal Camera Shop that is in Hanover Park. They fix my camera. See that camera? But last but not least, Shaymar Media Production. So I'm going to say that with a deep voice. If you need video production done in the Chicago area, I need editing done. You know what? Call this number, 773-416-7555. Almost sound like somebody do a commercial with a lawyer, 2222222. But you know what? That is what we do. And again, I want to say thank you humbly for the people that have made donations and the people that have given prayers. And some special prayers out to the brothers in Palestine and the sisters in Palestine. And the people in China, Muslims in China that are being oppressed by oppressive government. Okay. And the brothers in the UK, Islam for the UK, and Indonesia. There are more Muslims in Indonesia than any place in the world. Not Saudi Arabia. And the people on Hajj right now. You know what? I pray for y'all. And this is Clifton Raheem Bradley from out of the United States, Chicago, Illinois. If you like this, share it. If you don't like it, give me a thumbs down. If you like it, cool. If you got criticism for me, that's cool. You know, like the guy said on Goodfellas, he's a big boy. He knows what he says. He can take it. The guy said that the stacks. I wasn't even supposed to be looking at that movie, but I love Goodfellas. Yeah, Allah forget me. But we all, you looking at me, but we all got flaws. And you know what? And the thing is, the people that are arrogant, the people that think more of themselves, I always pray that Allah God keeps me away from people that are arrogant, people that think more of themselves than what they are. And when people do that, they're exhibiting attributes of the shaitan. And these are people that I pray that Allah keeps me away from. And me keep away from them and they keep away from them. Looks like I'm not, it's Maghrib is coming in. That is in Islam, that is the fourth salat. Okay. One day I'm gonna do a show and talk about all the salats and talk about what time you make the salat. And what time you make Fajr, Asr, Zohar, Maghrib, and Isha. Yeah, I got it right. And I want to send a special thanks out to President Joe Biden. Thank you, President Joe Biden, for letting the Muslims from Afghanistan come to the United States of America. Thank you. Thank you for removing the troops from out of Afghanistan and letting Muslims that need help from Afghanistan and other people. Chicago is a sanctuary city. What is a sanctuary city? Now, the mayor of Chicago agrees with this. Okay, sanctuary city means that whether you have documents or not, you can come to the United States and you can get help. You can get money. They will help you get a license. So this is a sanctuary city. Okay, to the people that are looking at this in Chicago, Illinois, you will not be chased after and demonized because you do not have documentation saying that you're not an American citizen in Chicago, Illinois. So come to Chicago. Come, please, brothers from Afghanistan, sisters from Afghanistan, and the Ukraine. Come to Chicago. Okay? Come. Chicago is in the United States. I'm going to say it one more time. Sanctuary city means you don't need any documentation to prove that you are a citizen, Muslim, and whoever, Asians. You can get help with food, education. You can get help. And I'm going to clap, and I shouldn't have with Joe Biden. But Joe Biden did all this because it was the will of Allah. And nobody has the ability to stop the will of Allah, a God. Nobody. So that's what I will say. Chicago is a sanctuary city. Come on. Come on. And I'm going to say goodbye to the people in Canada, United States, Central America, Brazil, Peru, Argentina. One day I'm going to get them all right. And the diaspora, which is Africa. That's where my lineage comes from. Okay, from Africa. It is rich in resources. No matter what they told you about people swinging from trees, rich. With platinum and gold and silver and titanium and diamonds. And to the people in Europe. Okay, in Asia, in Russia, the Ukraine, and China. Like I say, I'm sorry for the people, the Muslims that are being oppressed, and the Palestinians. There'd be peace with Palestine and Israel. May there be peace. And you know what, Australia? I'm so sorry for what happened to the Aborigines people in Australia. Very sorry. And I'm not going to forget two places that we just don't talk about too much. The North Pole and the South Pole, or maybe I'm pointing in the wrong direction. The South Pole and the North Pole. And to the people that own Hajj, pray that I will be able to make the Hajj in Mecca one day. You know, I pray. Please give me your prayers. Please give us a lot. So I'm going to end in the words of Assalamu alaikum. An Underground Railroad comes on tonight in Chicago at 10:30 p.m. Central Time on Comcast Television. That's CAN Television. But don't worry, if you're not in Chicago and you don't have Comcast or you don't have cable television, you know what? You can go to YouTube. You can see the last brother that was on there. We come on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I'm going to get up here. Probably in some place y'all making fajr. Are you making maghrib? Are you making asa prayer? But for us in the United States of America, in Chicago, Central Time, it is time to make maghrib. I'm not going to make it to the mosque to be able to break my fast. But that's okay. Because I had the opportunity to get doubt. And I pray that Allah is pleased with that. And if I do not wake up tomorrow, I pray that my ruah or my soul is escorted up to into the seven heavens, and there are more good deeds that are written about me than bad deeds, and I am put back into my grave gently and not thrown back into my grave. And it will expand. Wow, I will get anything that I want till the day of judgment. And they will come to the prophets, ask in the judgment, can you talk to Allah, pray to Allah to end this. We're suffering. There go Musa. And there go the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But then he said, I cannot. And then they will go to Jesus. Esau, he will praise Allah in a way that he has never been praised before. And that'd be a beautiful thing. And at the end, and when Esau comes back, there is no atonement. There is no forgiveness. You know? So I'm going to end. I could turn this into another show, I'm telling you, but I'm not going to do that. You know what? It is time for me to go make my salat, and I hope that I turn nobody out, but this is my truth. This is the Muslims' truth. We are not here to hurt. Muslims in the United States are not here to hurt anybody. We are not here to do anything wrong. The ones that are striving to do, there's always going to be a segment of the population that is bad in every denomination, but the majority of Muslims are not trying to hurt anybody. They're not trying to blow up anything. They're not trying to kill nobody. The majority. But they're bad apples in every group. So I'm going to shut up and I'm going to go submit to the will of Allah. This is the month of Ramadan. And this is a very special time. And inshallah, I'm going to try to get Brother Tyrone to come on tomorrow. Inshallah, that be the will of Allah. Yeah, assalamu alaikum, everyone. This is Clifton Raheem Bradley of the Underground Railroad Television Show.